Mystics have jumped out to an early lead in this round one clash in the ANZ Netball Championship. Trust Stadium, Waitakere. The Mystics 15, the Thunderbirds, last year's finalists 12. As we are about to get underway in the second quarter. Crowd just settling themselves, players settling themselves, and there's Temupara George with the centre pass.
Still, this is the problem area, and we saw that in the first quarter of this match. I think Gerard really getting the better of Rasmussen, quite tight on her. So struggling to get that ball that time off the centre pass.
A little bit scrappy on the floor, been a little bit scrappy in patches, and I suppose that's early season jitters, nerves. The long shot comes in from Beveridge, rims out though, and Byfield collects the rebound for the Mystics as they come away quickly. Here's George.
So one little change on the side for the Thunderbirds from Adelaide.
Shani Layton coming in at goal defence. Monty Gerard still at wing defence, but Georgia Beaton taken off the court after the first quarter, and the youngster Layton coming in for the Thunderbirds, and already gets a little tip away. She was with the Vixens in 2008, had no contract with the side last year. Just 21 years of age, Shani Layton at goal defence for the Thunderbirds.
Adds quite a bit of height defensively. She's 187 versus Beaton, who is 177, so just brings that wee bit of extra height in there against two tall shooters in Tutaia and Latu.
Borrego coming out of the circle to do some work, helping her team out. Gerard slinging the old underarm, fires it into her attackers. Borrego meets the goalpost. She would have had a few more clashes like that in her basketball days.
She had a lovely hold there, had the defence on her back. Look at the nice pocket she created for herself, but bang, into the post she went.
Looks like quite the character. I think we could get a bit of value out of Carla Borrego this season, as the Mystics now through Tutaia looking to extend that lead, and Tutaia's really found her range now after a bit of a wobbly old start, Julie.
Yes, just her hands letting her down a little bit, and also her shooting percentage in that first quarter. I think she shot, was it 5 from 8 in the first quarter of the match, whereas the Thunderbirds were totally accurate. They didn't miss a shot, 12 from 12 in the first quarter. The Mystics 15 from 18. So Tutaia just taking time to settle, yes.
Pulu called for the replay ball. She just slipped there. Her feet came out from under her, maybe a bit of sweat or something on the court, and they're going to call it back. There's the athleticism of Borrego, the former American University basketballer, but she's taken it. It's her first miss of the match.
Didn't follow her rebound in either, so made it very easy for Byfield.
Long arms of Beveridge over the top of Finau Pulu.
Again, timing just not on for the Mystics on attack. They're standing in the space where they want the ball too soon. They need to perhaps play wide, players move wide, and then drive back to the middle. So some good defensive work from the Thunderbirds again.
But they've
outside.
been, sorry Julie, they've been unable to capitalise though. They've had a couple of chances to close that gap, but Beveridge has had a few misses, but a held ball from Grace Rasmussen.
And that time the Thunderbirds very, very quick to go from attack onto defence. And as you said earlier, Ricky, with them, that their defence, their attack are playing a good defensive game.
Borrego misses from close range, but Beveridge picks up the scraps and she misses. Borrego grabs the rebound. Byfield making a heck of a nuisance of herself. You see the Mystics bench, and Jenny May Coffin not got the t-shirt on. Maybe she's doing a little bit of warming up. We just don't know.
There's a lot of experience sitting on that bench, isn't there? Jenny May Coffin, of course, and Jolene Henry, who was their big buy for the season for the Mystics. They'll be disappointed that she's not fit enough to play a full game for them, because as we've said, this game is very important for the Mystics. There we go, rolling that ankle. Ouch.
Finau Pulu, she just slipped, didn't she, in the ankle and knee. Both went in the wrong direction, and it looks to be more the knee that she's having the problems with. She's getting a bit of ice to it, but it looks like both parts are pretty sore. Will we see Jolene Henry? As we said, these These injuries means there are a lot of unknowns on the bench for the Northern Mystics. Just taking some time, Pulu, though. And, of course, one of the new rules is that now Te Aroha Keenan can come in and have a chat with her players.
Yes, there's a few new rules this season, as you say. Not major ones. There's no whistle, you'll notice, after when a goal is scored. They're trying to cut out that whistle. There's Beatrice Famoina and her mum.
A regular at the Mystics. I think I saw her at every home match last season.
Well, a good West Auckland girl and has done a lot for the region.
Well, a huge moment here, isn't it? The change has been made. At goal defence, Finau Pulu off. Kayla Cullen comes on, just a youngster, as we've said. I think only 18 years of age, New Zealand under 21. She's just finished school and now she's in the cut and thrust of semi-professional netball, the youngsters. So clearly, Henry not the option for the Mystics, and the youngster gets a chance, and there she is with the first touch.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this young lady. I've heard a lot about her. Haven't seen very much of her myself, but brings a bit of extra height to the defensive circle for them. A big moment for her. She'll need all the support she can get from the experience around her.
Given that she is primarily a shooter as well. We heard Jenny Makeoffen earlier mention that they had to use her in defence, and now Cullen gets that opportunity. She herself has had some injury problems, knee ligament damage back a couple of years ago. So a youngster who's already been through that rehab process is Latu disappointed. That goal doesn't count. The Thunderbirds now have another opportunity to narrow that gap once more.
Because there is another youngster on the bench for the Mystics that is a defensive player, young Tornay Fitzpatrick.
She's a real youngster, 17.
Yes,
still at school.
yes. So clearly, you know, Cullen just a little bit more experience. So great work again. She's beautiful in the air, Byfield, isn't she? She's so deceptive. She's got amazing elevation.
Very dynamic. Althea Byfield almost wins it back for the Mystics. She's making a real nuisance of herself, but it's now with Beveridge. She's looking to close the gap to 1, and she does so. So just under 10 minutes to play in the second quarter, in the first half of this first match. 18-17, the Mystics with a very slim advantage, and it's starting to get pretty willing in that defensive end between Mentor and Tutaia.
That was much better off the centre pass off for the Mystics. That time, Rasmussen very quick off the line and played nice and wide, gave lots of space through the mid-court.
Byfield came out looking for the intercept and didn't get it, left Borrego alone, and she makes no mistake. She's been pretty accurate so far, Carla Borrego, the newcomer to the competition. Wilcox, we haven't seen a lot of her, but I think she's been doing a power of work off the ball to help her circle defenders, as you mentioned earlier.
Yes, and using her in that phase of play on attack to bring the ball right up to the transverse line. I just keep thinking sometimes that the Mystics could look up court a little bit further in the first instance rather than across court.
Well, Byfield, if she didn't have a sore shoulder before that, she probably will now after taking a army roll tumble across the court, and it doesn't really pay off for her. She's got all sorts of niggling little problems, Althea Byfield, but she's working very hard for the Mystics.